I live in Nevada, about an hour outside of Las Vegas. For certain reasons, I'm keeping the exact location secret and purposely distorting some details. For those of you who don't know, a good 90% of Nevada's land is government or military owned, and a lot of it is free to roam. The only areas you really shouldn't venture into are well-fenced and clearly marked for good reasons. There are many still active radioactive sites as well as government testing facilities, bombing ranges, and other things of that nature. They really aren't that exciting, to be quite honest. Usually, they only have some concrete foundations or target shacks on them and are probably hazardous to your health or safety. The sites that aren't like that are usually fully manned military bases where they work with drones now. I've never been one to believe in paranormal phenomena. At best, I acknowledge that our government has several high-tech projects that seem mysterious. But what I experienced has really made me question these beliefs. I digress. However, this story started about a month ago around on a warm spring night. Yes, it starts warming up early out here. When you were all getting snow, it was hitting about 40 degrees Fahrenheit during midday. I had vacation time that I had yet to cash in on, and it was nearing the point of expiration, so I decided to take it. I didn't really have any plans or foresight into what I wanted to do with my 2 weeks off, but I did take some of my savings and cashed in on an IR laser for my rifle and a night vision monocular headset. The first night of my vacation, I felt somewhat restless, so I started up my Minecraft server and played around for a bit. But I was still feeling unsatisfied. I've always had trouble sitting still, and when there's nothing to be productive with, my mind goes racing, coming up with hundreds of project ideas. I finally settled on the idea of camping. Unfortunately, most of my friends were busy with work, and no one I knew was willing to get away for the week. It dawned on me that I had never tried camping for a lengthy period of time alone, for a good reason. The desert is a nasty place to get stranded, and death is a very real possibility should something go terribly wrong. Between dehydration, broken bones, and rattlesnakes, you definitely have to be careful. The only thing I could really think of to combat this would be to take along my 5W ham radio and research the closest repeaters to different choice areas. I'd have a way to call for help if things went south and my Yugo M76, just in case. After doing some research and quick site planning, I settled on an area I honestly didn't know very well but looked promising. It had several abandoned silver mines, washes for shelter, and generally good wildlife to watch or take potshots at. Of course, if anyone from PETA got wind of my ventures, they would have an absolute shitstorm over the number of jackrabbits and coyotes I've laid waste to. So, once I settled on my location, I began to pack. This wasn't difficult, as I always keep my bug-out bag ready in my closet, and I decided it was a good time to cycle out old inventory. However, this time was a bit different. I decided to bring a few more electronics with me than usual, including my ham radio, my night vision monocular, and a solar charger, just in case. I decided to leave my cell phone behind and rely on a good old-fashioned map and compass for navigation. From an early age in Boy Scouts, I've known how to navigate the old-fashioned way and decided I'd give my rusty skills a bit of a test and see how well I remembered the UTM coordinate system. The electronics were for some nighttime fun and emergencies only. I woke up at 3:30 a.m. on day 2 of my vacation, excited as hell and ready to head out. I decided to load up on supplies before hitting the highway and stop to get some coffee and donuts. Looking like some ridiculous commando on a dirt bike after getting my sweet black nectar and a load of simple carbs, I headed off. The weather was great, and the wind rushing over my face felt wonderful. As I got a few miles away from the turnoff, I remembered there was an Indian gas station fairly close to the exit. The Indian reservation boundaries are an odd shape, and for about a mile, the highway went right through the middle of it, offering anyone who stopped in some tax-free gasoline. I stopped in after topping off my tank, and the cashier asked where I was off to. I told her where I was going and that I was planning to go camping. She mentioned that the Air Force base a few miles away had been doing some testing and warned me not to get lost on their target range.